Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing tonight? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm here with this month's, June's, using up your small paper pads. So this is a collab with Deb Houck's Crafty Cottage, and there's several participants of which I will all have them all linked below this video. So they're all having great ideas. We've been doing this since January. It's a whole year thing for 2020. Once a month, we all post a video. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's been challenging, you know, thinking up different ways to use up paper pads. So it's anything smaller than a 12 by 12. And I've been working with 8.5 by 11, 6 by 6, anything like that. I have, you know, in the last month, I've really used, I've been working on the children's storybook journals, using up quite a bit of paper from 8.5 by 11, you know, paper pads. And then I worked on the Cracker Jack journals, which those were the perfect size for 6 by 6. So I used up quite a bit of 6 by 6 paper in those. So now I wanted to do something different this month. I didn't want to do a journal, believe it or not. I want to do something different. So I was sitting here kind of working out my ideas, and I was trying to decide whether I want to, like, I cut this, and I was thinking maybe making a library card or a library pocket out of just paper, but I didn't like how it was looking like it was going to turn out. So I thought, well, my original idea, because I kind of was changing my mind back and forth, my original idea was to maybe make some library pockets out of time cards and then decorate them with the 6 by 6 paper, and I think that's going to turn out better. So I have, like, these are my time cards here. There, I just measured them. These are actually 10.5 inches long, 10.5, and so I have regular, you know, clean new ones here, and these are new, but this one has been coffee dyed. So I wanted to try each one and do a library pocket with each one and see how they come out and how they look. So I have one already cut here from just regular, you know, non-coffee dyed time card. And what I did was, here's the other piece of it. I cut it in half first to see how it looked. And this looks like a good size right here for a library pocket. You know, the backing. And then I cut this off the bottom of the other half of the bottom half. So see, it was like this. I cut this little piece here. I thought this would be cute. It has you know, some different things here on the bottom, little lines and things that I liked. So I thought that would be cute to just glue right here on the bottom of this piece and then decorate possibly. But first I want to distress. So I distressed this one just around the edges. Maybe you can see that. And then I was going to go ahead and distress this one. I thought I was getting going on it, kind of experimenting. And I thought, well, I better turn on the camera because, you know, this video has to be posted at 10 o'clock on the 25th of each month. And I'm doing this the night before so I can have it ready for tomorrow morning. So I'm just going to go ahead and distress real quick around here. I've been using this a lot, these little eyeshadow brushes, or, you know, I guess they're brushes, eyeshadow brushes, and I really love this. And I've only used this one so far, still using the same one that I started with, and it's not like shredding or anything yet. So I'm pretty impressed with these little brushes. So okay, there we go. We've got some nice distressing there now, not totally new and clean anymore. So then I was trying to decide, I might make a journaling card out of this in a minute, but I thought I might see if I want to put, before I glue this on, put some paper behind here, you know, like this. So like this was, let's see, this was together. This was from a 6 by 6 paper pad. Okay, so this was one piece of the 6 by 6 paper pad. Really pretty little vintagey paper pad. I already coffee dyed all the backs of these, and just in case, here it is right here, the rest of them. These are double-sided. Oh, okay, there's some double-sided here. I see I had a couple different packs. And then there's some that were single-sided that I coffee dyed on the back. So I have all those that I'm working with right now to see what I want to do. So I thought maybe it would be cool to put this here before I glue down my pocket, then glue down my pocket possibly, but I don't want to cover up these butterflies. Okay, so what I would do is possibly, I want to see if I needed to glue it down before, so I really don't have to glue it down before, because I don't want my butterflies tucked way down in there. I want them tucked just under the top, so you can't see where this paper starts. It's just starting under there, but you can't see where it starts, and I'm not covering up anything that way. And then it can just, you know, go as far as I want it to go up to the top. I want to have the butterflies on here, and then this was the bottom piece, and it said telegram on it. I thought it looked really neat and vintagey, just this piece right here, and I thought I would put that right down here. So, and then you can decorate further if you want, you know, whatever you might want to put on there, some die cuts or some paper, you know, Tim Holtz paper dolls or something. You know, anything, words, rubber stamps. Let's see, so this, I'm trying to see if this is ready to go. I've got a little white line here I need to take off of here. I don't know what that is from, but I don't think it's from the top of the paper. It's just, I don't know, a white line. So maybe that's just the paper. Maybe I need to distress that a little bit too. Maybe it's because it's white again now and I just cut it. So I think I'm just going to distress right there. Maybe it's just from cutting the paper, like I said. That does happen. So let's go ahead and distress, since we distressed that side, go around all of our sides just to take off all the white. I probably don't need the bottom since that's going to be tucked, but I'm still doing it. And then I think I might round the corners, the top corners. The bottom corner is going to be tucked in the pocket. And let's just see how this looks. So this is just another way to use up your, you know, 6x6 papers. And so it'll be like this. I think that'll be pretty. Except I'm going to cut, actually, okay. See, I am just thinking this through here. I need to cut off a little bit of this paper at the top. It's too tall. So I think there's actually a line right here. I think I'm going to cut right above this. See this line right here? I'm going to cut right above that line. It's like a distressed line in the paper, in the design there, or the pattern or whatever. So let's see. So it ended up being that small. Okay. That's good to know. We'll measure it and see how long, what size it is. And now I need more distressing up here because we've got another white line. Might as well just leave my distress ink open here and have it ready to go, so I don't have to keep it opening and closing it. But, oh, that looks good with a dark line too. Look at that. Can you see that? I like that on this paper. That looks really good on here. Okay, cool. I'm glad I did that. All right, so then get the corners. Okay, now that looks good. I like that. So see, I kind of was thinking about this too, because you know, if y'all watch my channel, you know that I make a lot of ephemera, right? But I don't have, I have a couple of library pockets in my ephemera, but not that many. I kind of tend to make tags and journaling cards and things like that, but not library pockets. So why not make some and have them ready to go? Because you can glue them on the inside of a book cover, front or back, and you can put them on a page. You can sew them down, you know, so many things, right? So right now I can glue, later on I can sew on here if I want. So just lots of things that you can do with library pockets, and there's no rules when you make library pockets. You can make them any way you want. That's what's great about junk journaling, right? There's really no rules. You can just do whatever you want, whatever you dream up, whatever you see, you know, any idea that sparks a new idea, or the same thing that anybody else is doing, just whatever you want to do. So let's glue down this first, because I want to make sure of where this is before I tuck that under. And because I don't want it to be too low, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to put some right on the edge here, because I don't want my glue taking up any of my pocket room, if possible, or hardly any of it. I'm going to put a little glue across the bottom too, so it's all nice and stuck down here. With my art glitter glue, of course. So I'm going to glue it right down on the edge there. And then I'm going to see, will it still fit? Yes, it will. And I just cut it in half, you know, 6 inches, cut it right in half, so this should be 3 inches across. I didn't cut anything else except for the bottom of this. So this is going to be all glued down, so I'm going to just get glue all over this, so this is nice and solid down, glued down. So I worked today, of course, and I just wanted to come home, sit down and craft, you know what I mean? I didn't want to get out a bunch of supplies and have to do anything complicated. So that's why, another reason I thought, you know, I'd really like to make some library pockets, and it's just a good little craft to just sit here, use a few things, and kind of relax after working all day, right? Even though not like my job is physically demanding, but I still, you know, just want to sit and do something, not, you know, run around and do whatever, anything else. Plus, I already have a mess on my craft room, so I don't need to get out too many other things. Pretty much all of this stuff was out that I have right here that I'm using, except for I grabbed a few time cards. Those weren't out, and this paper I've had out because I've been using it in my Cracker Jack journals. So really all I had to get out was the time cards. Okay, so this is going right here, completely glued down. So I think these are going to be really cute. I think I'm going to like these a lot, and I hope I can make a bunch right now with y'all. So you can get your stuff out real quick and do some with me. And if you have any comments, I'll be glad to, or ideas, I'll be glad to hear them and communicate with you in the comments about those. So isn't that pretty? And so I said, I wonder, see, this is, it's not quite tall enough to be a library card, but I just wonder, I'm wondering, like, to use all the bits and pieces that I'm cutting up here. I wonder if I can make this into some sort of, I mean, I don't really want to cut off the sides because I don't want to waste anything, but I want to cut off the sides and just see if we can make a little card that will fit in here, because this is too wide. So let's just try it here real quick. I just cut off a little strip, probably a little bit under 1/4 of an inch there, and then I'll cut off another strip on the other side. I'm trying to see if this is even. It looks pretty even as far as the, I don't know why that doesn't look even right there. Let me see if anything cut. No, I guess it's pretty even. Okay, so let's see, will that fit? I cut off a little strip, like I said. It will fit, but I feel like it's a little tight. Okay, so I probably needed almost 1/4 of an inch, like basically 1/4 of an inch off each side. And now I'm going to cut. I just don't want it to be that tight where it's kind of pulling too much, excuse me, on the sides where I just glued, especially since I just glued and it's probably not dry yet. Okay, so let's see how that fits. See, that's nice. Slips in and out easily. So this could be a little journaling card to fit in this library pocket. So you can get it all done at one fell swoop here at one time, and make yourself a little library pocket, pretty little library pocket. It can be stopped right there. It's perfectly acceptable, just like this. So pretty. And this, I would say, since this is distressed, if you don't want to distress anything, don't distress. If you want to distress, distress. But since this is distressed, I might as well make this to match the whole look here and do a little bit around the edges. So let's just do that. All right, and I'm wondering about using, see this piece we cut off right here? Can we do something with that? I wonder, you know, it would be cool because, like I said, I didn't know that if this was long enough, so we can actually lengthen this in some way. Like, I'm trying to see, put it underneath, put it on top, fold it over. It's paper. It's not really super thin or anything, but it's not cardstock. So I'd really like to, I think, try gluing this down so we lengthen this card. Let's try it. We're experimenting here a little bit, so let's try. It's coffee dyed on the back, so it's pretty on the back. I'm just worried about it. Well, I mean, you know, art glitter glue holds on, so it shouldn't be a problem if I were, or someone were to pull on this later on the paper. It should not come apart. I could sew that later if I wanted to, if I was really worried about it coming apart. Is it too wide? I think it's a little bit too wide as far as sticking over there. Do I want to cut that off? Let me see. Actually, I think it's probably okay. I don't know. I'm kind of, you know, I got to get perfectionist on myself here. Pull out my perfectionism and cut. There's a little bit sticking over right here, so let's just make it even. Now it's even with the sides. See, it was sticking out a little bit. Now it's even, but now we need to round our corners again. Round our corners while letting that dry, not pulling it off. And we took the distressing off there, so let's do that again. All right, so we got a general idea of what we can do here. Now you could put a little piece of lace or something here to join this together. This is a cutoff. That kind of looks neat, right? This is a cutoff from the time card. Why do I like that? It's just a simple thing, but I like it. That is, I don't know, it looks good. Let's try this. I have some lace right here, but this would be less. Well, I have some thin lace too, but you know, in the quest to use scraps, let's just use this little scrap. It looks good with the lines going the other way, and now if we put a little distressing on here, it'll add even more dimension to our little library card or journaling card, whatever we want to call it. Okay, I'm kind of just messy distressing there. So let's see how this looks. It just needed something. It looked like it needed something to bring these two pieces together. And again, you know, you can always further decorate things. Just keep going. I'm not going to further decorate this tonight. You could put buttons on here. That would be cute. I just have some buttons right there, I noticed. And that would be super cute to put some buttons on here. But there we go. We have a cute library pocket. And that still fits in there. And it's a little journaling card to fit in there. And if you're, like, you can write on here. This can be written on the front and the back. We could actually put another strip of this cut off here on the back to bring it together. Let's see how that looks. See, that actually looks better too. Isn't that just amazing? We're just going to use all of our scraps tonight. Do I want to distress this on here? I kind of like it without distressing on the back, don't you? Okay, let's don't distress this one. We're not going to distress for a change. So, hope everyone had a great day. I had a decent day. Nothing eventful, which is nice. You know, let's just have an ordinary, normal day sometimes, or usually. Okay, so it's straight. It's sticking over right here, this little strip that I just put on. There we go. So we have a piece bringing these two pieces together, on the front and the back, and that looks, I like it. I like it just like that. If I want to do something later, I can, but there we go. That's, I would say that could be ready to go. I can see myself adding a rubber stamp here, though, and down here would be cute right there. Little number or something. Or if you have some printouts of numbers or rubber stamp numbers, that would be cute right there. Or, you know, a rubber stamp word, or a word that you've printed out or cut out of a book or something. I can just see that right there. Or a number maybe you cut out, or some buttons. So anyway, enough on that one. Let's see, do we have time to do some more? Yeah, we can do one more. So let's try a coffee dyed one. Okay, so this is what I did. I just cut it in half. I measured, I lost my art glitter glue pin the other night. I had to get out a new one. Thank goodness. I sell them in my shop, right? So I had some. But, let's see. So 10.5 means 5 1/4. So the middle's right on this line right here. So we're going to cut this in half and do one like we just did. I lost my line as I was moving my paper cutter. Okay, right there. Don't lose it again. Okay, right there. Okay. Ready to cut. Okay, so I gotta keep that other one here so I can see what I did. Here it is right here. Here's what we did. So I cut off this bottom part here. So I'll do that again. I just like how that turned out. So why not do the same thing? I want to do the same thing, but with this coffee dyed time card. So then I rounded all the corners. Piece of trash there. I don't need to distress this one. It's already got like coffee stain around the edges. So that saves some time if it's already coffee dyed. I do sell these in my shop too. I've been coffee dyeing like crazy the last few, since what's today is Wednesday night, so since last weekend. Like I have a batch drying, and then as soon as it's dry, I do another batch. It's crazy, but I just really have fun with that. I like to have things ready. Plus I sell them in a lot of that stuff in my shop, so I like to, you know, I only sell what's ready. I don't put any more than what's ready. So when somebody orders something, boom, it's out the door, right? So already distressed, that saves some time. Let's pick out a piece of paper for this one. You know what? We have the other half. We have the other half of the paper we just used. So we only used 1 3-inch half of a 6x6 paper for this whole thing. So this is not necessarily a way to use up your paper quick, but something fun to do with it, right? So we glued on, let's see, where's my, let's see. Okay, so this is the piece we used for the journaling card. Let's go ahead. I want to use this. See, this has people on it down here. A little family there. This is a really neat collage piece. So I'm going to cut off that bottom piece for the decoration on here. And I really love this one. I wish I had, I wish the whole paper pad was just like this. So cool. Okay, so isn't that cute? So let's round the corners again. I love rounded corners. So fun. Yep. Oh, now this needs to be distressed. I've got a bunch of white edges showing here. And this paper looks awesome with the brown, really brown, dark brown edges here. So I'm kind of like going not just on the edge, but up here. So I get some actually on the paper to make a darker edge and a thicker kind of distressing there. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to go ahead and glue that down. No certain order to do things in, but Just getting it done. I'm going to get my edges down good. All right. So that's going on here. It really looks good on the coffee dyed ticket time card, doesn't it? Look at that. I like it. Pretty, right? Now we're going to glue this down here. It's amazing how much time. I feel like I just saved a lot of time by having this coffee dyed time card and not having to distress. Okay, I'm getting carried away with my glue. Oh, you know what? I just put glue on the top. Let's wipe that off. I told you I was getting carried away with my glue. I knew. I was like, that seems like too much glue. Okay, I'm going to have to let that dry for a minute and maybe reapply here because I don't want that glue down. This is a little pocket. So we're going to let that dry for a second and work on our, this little card. So we cut off, we decided about 1/4 of an inch off the sides. So, and then we'll have our strips to use as the joiner to join that little piece, little tab that we put on. So let's go ahead and cut about 1/4. Trying to see. Okay, I think I got it. That should be about right. Let's see, let's experiment on this one. Is it too wide? It's a little wider than, I think I cut it almost the same size as I did before. Maybe a little thinner, but I just feel like it needs to be a little bit thinner. Look at that. Little sliver. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So now, let's see. We're going to have a piece of this. This is pretty much, okay, we're going to have a piece of this going here and here when we get this glued on. And so I want it to be about like this. And cut off about right here. So let's cut this off. That's going to be our little tab on the card. And this is going to be our back piece. We're going to round the corners. And I got glue on my fingers. Trying to get off right there. So, yeah, around the corners again. Distress. This would probably look good with a lot of distressing because it's going to be on the coffee dyed time card, you know. I'm just going to do some messy distressing here. Get a lot on the edges. See that? You can really see that, right? So now we're going to glue this. Well, let's go ahead and glue this down now. I think this is dry here. Okay. So let's try that again. The whole thing is pretty much dry, so we can start over with the glue on the edges, but not on the top this time, Sherry. Okay, that's better. I did it right that time. Glue that down, right down to the edge. Let's push it down a little. Okay, there we go, down to the edge. Get the sides. Get the glue off my hands. Okay. All right. Now, this is going right here. This one seems to be shorter, doesn't it? I wonder if I made my, but it's fine. It's fine. See? It's a little, did I make my pocket? Pocket's about the same. I mean, barely shorter, but I think that's still pretty, even though this is down a little bit more than the other one, see? I think it's fine. It looks good like that. Either way. Either or. Okay, so this gets all glued down here. edges. Okay. Put this bottom piece just under the pocket so we don't know where it starts under there. Or we do, but you can't tell. Okay. This is like a letter or something on here. It's pretty cool, and there's a signature right there. Very cool looking. Okay, glue. And now our ticket, or our journal card, I should say. So this time we know what we're doing. Before we were experimenting. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down. I think we need to just put a little bit of distressing on here though. Or maybe a lot. Okay, rounded corners on the top. Should have done that before I distressed. No biggie, just another little bit. Glue this down. We are putting, let's see, we put the glue, we put it underneath before, so we put the glue right here. Is that right? I mean, it doesn't matter. I think we put it on the front. Okay, so we're going to put the glue on the back, just right here. And glue that down. Glue these two together. Okay. Yes, I know what you're saying. I didn't cut it off on the sides, like, again, that's sticking out. And so let's go ahead and glue down our little pieces here, and then we'll cut off, because this was too long too. So we'll just cut everything at one time. So let's glue this. It's already got coffee dye on it, so I'm not going to distress it. Save ourselves some time. But I am going to start at the edge here, so I'll just cut off the one side. So this is our little joining together piece. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and cut this even. Let's see, let me look at the back, then I can see where I'm at. That one, and get off there. And this one. Cut through that cardstock. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm repeating myself a little bit. If I get this down, I would be able to cut this ahead of time, not round my corners twice, save myself some time there of re-rounding my corners. And re-distressing. Since I cut this off, I have to re-distress. Okay, that looks good. And then our joining piece on the back here, which is going to go like this. And we're going to go ahead and cut this. Let's cut, this is a little wonky, this piece. I'm going to cut the narrow, it's like a little wider down here, and then it's narrower, so I'm going to cut the narrower end off. And that'll make it look more the same all the way across. I'm still using it because it's a scrap and I want to use it. And I like it. So, okay. So that's going to join these two pieces together. Now we have our little piece together library card or journaling card. Did we round the corners on the bottom of this one? Yes, we did. Okay, I didn't round the bottom of this one yet. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Now, we didn't do any distressing on the card, but I feel like it needs a little bit. This doesn't have any brown edges. Like, see these? This has brown edges from the coffee. This doesn't right here because we trimmed this. So I feel like it really needs a little bit of, from that fresh cut that we just made, it needs a little distressing here. But anyway, just a fun little way to use up some of your 6x6 paper, you know. We used up one whole piece, but now we have 2 library pockets and cards. There we go. And like I said, you can do further decorating later if you want. And yeah, this one slips in and out easier, so I would make it a little thinner. Let's see, this feels like it needs some more glue here. This just needs a little more glue. I didn't put enough, or it put it in the right spot or something there. So let's just get that all glued down. I think I'll definitely add some buttons or some rubber stamps. Experiment with that and see how that looks. But these are fun. These are fun and easy, right? All right. Definitely getting out my rubber stamps right now. I'm going to experiment with that, but I'm going to end this video here because it's getting long enough. Hope you enjoyed and that you'll use your 6x6 paper to make some fun library cards and pockets. No rules, whatever you want, right? Do whatever you want. Thanks for watching. Have a great night and happy crafting.